What's up, guys? Welcome to Gray Tokens. We're at episode 6 here. Before we get started, if you could hit the subscribe button on that YouTube if you're watching this from YouTube. I'm Kenny Martin.
I'm D. Bowden, a.k.a. Spank Siete. Wordplay at his best, man. You heard?
Spank. So that brings us into our first question. You know, we have to ask the black guy or whatever. So why do most black guys have nicknames?
Oh, wow, that's easy. Nicknames usually start from childhood, usually something your mother or grandmother gave you, or somebody in the family probably gives you. Something happens to you, an incident, accident, or, you know, just from childhood. Right. I think I got my nickname from because I came up in the system a little bit, so my foster mom gave me my nickname, Spanky. And I was short and fat, like Spanky from the Little Rascals. Right. Used to always eat bread, still eat bread. Right. So that's where mine came from. Okay. And it just followed me throughout life.
I grew up with a couple guys. They all had nicknames. Booney was one because he lived out in the boondocks, black guy. Thumper was one because of the size of his dick. Donk was one, again, because of the size of his dick. And I think that was it as far as nicknames go. 2 out of 3 was about the size of their necks.
That sucks when you got a nickname based off your piece, man. You know.
Or it's a good thing.
I don't know. Maybe if you don't live up to the right people, you know.
Well, I've seen both of them. They were pretty big.
Yeah, I don't know. It could be the gift and the curse too. I mean, I could feel the work. I think prime example, rapper 2 Chainz, right? So 2 Chainz rap name before was Titty Boy. And that was his childhood nickname. His mom gave him because he's the only child. Okay. So they always say, "You always on your mama titty, boy." Yeah. So as he built his brand longer, he started realizing, like, I don't think this would be a good marketing.
I don't think that's good for
marketing. So he kind of reinvented himself through his rap career and then started calling himself 2 Chainz. It just sounded more marketable than Titty Boy.
I would agree. So, yeah, I don't think Titty Boy really.
Yeah, and he said that too. Is like I didn't like the way people would kind of scrunch and look at me when I would be like, Titty Boy.
Why don't they ever go by their real name?
Some people have really messed up names. Prime example, you know who Elginard Washington is?
No.
Elginard. When you think of the name Elginard, what
who
pops in your brain?
In my head.
Elginard.
Man, I don't have a clue.
When I think of Elginard, I think of Dungeons and Dragons and shit, right? Yeah. Elginard Washington is Plies.
Really?
The rapper Plies. That's his government name.
I would change my name.
I would definitely go by Plies than Elginard.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah. Calvin Brodus.
Oh, that's Snoop Dogg.
Snoop Dogg, yeah.
Tracy.
Yeah.
I don't know the last name. Tracy is Ice-T.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. I can't take you seriously with a name like that.
Tracy.
Like, I couldn't see you as a tough guy. Your name was Tracy.
Yeah.
You know, like, hey, Tracy.
Tracy Morgan.
Right, yeah.
So we were talking earlier, and this is something that people probably don't know, that black guys actually burn, like sunburn.
Yes, we do. Story. So, Father's Day weekend, I was given a special gift from my better half. And I was given the chance to go saltwater tubing, right? So,
did you wear floaties?
No, I didn't have floaties because they told me it was just a river, right?
Right.
Man-made.
Can you swim?
No, not for shit. But I'm not scared to get in the water though.
Okay.
You know. So we go saltwater tubing. No one gave me the proper information on what I should put on. So I'm just out there, got on my swim trunks or whatever. We get in this tube, we go up to this trail, and they just drop us in this ramp. I'm sitting there and realizing I'm getting burnt like shit. Like, bro, I am an overcooked piece of bacon at this moment.
Yeah, they don't really
right?
market to black people.
Right. So I'm on this tube, and, you know, as you're sitting too long, the tube will start heating up, and you'll feel it. I'm like, oh, shit. Oh, jumping. Oh. And it's salt water on top of that, right? So afterwards, we get out. We get home. We shower. I go to the bathroom. I take off my tank top. I didn't realize how really light-skinned I really was.
You got a farmer's tan now.
Yeah. I didn't know how light-skinned I really was until I got that damn sunburn. And it was there for like a good I'm going to say 3-4 weeks, man. Like, I was, And I'm walking around. Now, you see how black I am. I'm like, damn, man, I got sunburn Sunday, they looking at me like, what the fuck, sunburn? You black?
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I'm sunburned black. Okay, I'm in Phoenix, man. The reality kicked in.
Take
like,
your shirt off. You look like you still got a t-shirt on.
And then like my brother-in-law, he like this. He like, yeah, man, D, that's why I put on Vaseline, man. Like, ain't nobody tell me to put on no Vaseline.
I didn't know you could put on Vaseline.
Yeah, shit. Hey, Vaseline does wonders, man. Protects you from sunburning. I know for future reference.
I would just use sunblock.
Yeah. I don't know.
I have to, like, I'm pasty white, so
yeah,
I look like that guy.
I got to go from I just got to use what Big Mama would have told me. Put some petroleum jelly on, baby. Yeah, Vaseline does wonders, man. Lip gloss, all that.
I got to spray down. with the sunblock. Otherwise, I look like a damn lobster after two.
Man. Yeah, I learned a very valuable lesson. Black people put on sunscreen.
You heard that.
Brought to you by a brother that got burnt. This shit happens for real, okay? Do not question it. You can be sunburned. I learned the hard way.
Right. Hey, we were talking, to get a little more serious, we were talking about just the difference in white privilege as opposed, well, two positions. One, how white people see it, and one, how black people see it, right? Mm-hmm. Some white people believe there's white privilege out there. Right. Some people don't.
Right.
Right. And then some people are kind of in between.
Right.
What you were asking me a question earlier. What are your thoughts? What was you asking me about?
Do you feel that there's white privilege?
I do believe that there's white privilege. Yes.
See, that would make me want to just give you a big hug.
Yeah. No, I mean
it would. It make me want to just hug you because I think overall morality of white people in general, they don't think there's white privilege, or they're just oblivious to it, or they just don't.
Yeah,
see it
I believe there's white privilege. I believe there's extremists with both categories. I think there's people that think, oh, they only got the job because they're white. Mm-hmm. That's the only reason they're successful. That's the only. I think some black people use that as a crutch towards white people. Right. That's fair to say. Is that now, and that kind of negates the hard work that this particular person put in.
Right.
Whatever career, whatever background, whatever. Did it maybe help them get their foot in the door? Maybe.
I'll say I would say probably.
Yeah.
Just probably.
But it can't negate from what they did with it.
I mean, you look at the stories, right? You look at the stories how, like, I'm thinking back in my jobs as growing up, right? So in the 20s, I had a job. I used to work at the mental health complex, right? Mm-hmm. And mental health complex is when people come in, they have mental disorders, mental illnesses. And I would see people that came in, not of my color, white people, middle class, privileged kids, try to kill themselves or hurt themselves because daddy didn't pay the tuition this semester, or they didn't meet the demands or the expectations from the privileged power white couple, right? So their mentality is thinking, it's not worth living. I'm taking my life because my parents don't approve of me and I didn't meet the standards in this semester.
Yeah.
Semester. We're talking college. The average black kid growing up in urban America is just happy that they graduate from high school, maybe.
True. Now,
so it's like, wow.
I mean, to dig a little deeper.
Yeah.
Is it because of expectation? Don't even talk about the white kid that
right.
I'm talking about the black guy trying to graduate high school. Is it because of the expectations that's put on them? Is it because they don't have figures to push them? Is it?
I think it's a combination of things. The old saying is you don't want to be a product of your environment, right? Mm-hmm. So what's happening is the successful African Americans that's in your neighborhood and communities, they're moving out. So they're moving out. So now you just have lower middle class, I'm just getting by environment, right? So
because that's kind of the mantra is to get out,
right? To get out, right? Because your environment is what impacts you to want to either do better or just go with the flow. For me, I just wanted to do better. I already know the results. If I don't graduate from high school, if I don't try to pursue my dreams and try to be a productive citizen, this is what I got
They
to
say
look forward
people
to,
only
right?
change because of inspiration or
Or
desperation.
desperation. Yeah. So you look around you, you see what that is. I'm like, well, fuck, I don't want that. So
Yeah.
you kind of want to put yourself in a position to take that chance. I think that's why a lot of people embrace the Cinderella stories of the kid that came up with the single mother, struggling, like the LeBron James story. You know, people embrace some people embrace that. They be like, they can relate to that. Single mother, grew up in, mom moving house to house. This guy been with his high school sweetheart since high school to be the level of expectation of an athlete. And he put that on himself. He even said that. He got the tattoo put on his back, chosen one. He chose to take on that, right? And I think just being black, we always are in a competition with with America in a whole because of going back from racism and all of that, right? So you're always in a competitive mind state. That's why you see so many people in entertainment in a whole that they either you either get up or you're down, and then we're competitive amongst each other.
I was
going
to say that
we competitive amongst each other.
Well,
It's crazy.
Does like in this particular case, does misery love company?
Yeah, I think so too. Like growing up where I'm from, like
they try to drag you back in.
They drag you back in, like, and it's like a disease, right? It's just it don't stop. Like I'm from Milwaukee, so in Milwaukee, man, we don't have a lot of support amongst each other, man. Like we be in competition with each other instead of embracing each other at times. We're trying to move forward and whatever it may be. You'll get that doubt, like, oh man, this dude, he trying to start up a comedy show. I mean, you ain't even that funny, bro. Like, you see what I'm saying? You don't even get
what you're doing.
Downplaying. You don't even really get mad at them. It's what they was taught and installed in them, and it's just a ripple effect. It's an inherited curse that someone needs to break the chain, right? Yeah. Or you hear the old saying, "Oh, you trying to act like you too good, or you better than us."
I see that a lot.
Oh,
like
man.
When I go back home,
yeah.
I never go back to my hometown,
right?
But when I used to, it was all like city boy. You moved off to the big city,
right?
Shit like that. It's like even with family, it's like, oh, you moved off to the big city of Birmingham, like
right,
shit,
right.
Not even a big city.
It's just you want to do something better, right?
Yeah.
And what's wrong with that?
Yeah.
What's wrong with trying to be better in life? No. I think
it's change. People are
change. Yeah.
That's the number one fear of people is change.
Change is people fear what they can't change, or people change and they fear that.
Yeah.
Even when you become where you want to be, right? Just think about how that person goes, like what he's thinking about or she's thinking about sitting in that hotel room at the end of the night, like, man, I really made it out. I made it out.
Mm-hmm. But then there's also there's a mindset too, and I have to overcome this a lot. Is that when you are doing good, it's the fear of falling back.
Yeah,
the fear of failing.
Yeah.
So I think that's a lot of it too. Is just the mindset, the scarcity mindset.
Yeah.
Is that if you never grew up with anything, once you start getting stuff, you're afraid to lose it.
Oh yeah.
And you treat it like it's scarce.
Oh yeah.
And that's not a way to live.
No, it's not. I mean, I think millionaires think that way anyway. I think that's in a way that's how you become staying a millionaire.
There's
right?
a difference between being frugal and being scarce.
Yeah.
If you're scarce, you don't think it's ever going to come.
It's never going to come.
More's never going to come.
Yeah.
If you're frugal, you're just being smart with money. Yeah. But that scarcity mindset is what gets.
I believe that for real.
I'm sure that's what gets black dudes in the ghetto and white rednecks in a trailer.
Yeah.
That's what can't get them. Get them out.
Hearing from your parents telling you, know what? This is what you are, and you'll never change. You're a Bolton, and this is what Boltons do. Like,
here's one for you, and this is where they have the check cashing places right next to the
liquor store
and the pawn shop and all that shit.
Oh, yeah.
It's because rednecks are just as bad. Mm-hmm. They get their check.
Yep.
First thing they got to do is cash it. Well, they're getting charged 10% to cash this thing.
Yep.
Boom, 10%'s gone. you're trying to hold on to your money so much that you're willing to give up little pieces here and
Oh,
there.
yeah.
And now, by the end of the day, you don't have
You
shit.
don't have shit.
And the pawn shop's right next door.
Mm-hmm.
So now you're pawning shit.
Yep.
It's just that scarcity mindset.
Yeah, it's the neighborhoods too, man. We need as a people in whole, man. We need to just come together and start looking at the objective. Is like hip hop and all Americans, like we embrace each other, but sometimes we adapt to certain things in our environment and we just get complacent.
Yeah.
And when you get complacent, man, you just fail because you just be like, oh, this is just what it is. And you hear people say that. It is what it is. It's like, no, it ain't. I hate hearing that.
Yeah.
It is what it is. No, it's not. I hate that.
Yeah.
It is what it is. No,
that's saying that you can't do anything about it.
Right.
There's no change.
You're the holder to your destiny at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whatever you want to do in life, if God blesses you to have all your limbs and your brain and whatever, man, get out here and do it, man. It's people. I mean, people do it all the time,
Yeah.
man.
You make your own luck.
You got to create your path.
Somebody
man.
was saying, I was watching an interview. Actually, Burt Kreischer, the comedian, he was saying, yeah, you do get your. He did get lucky, right? But you have to have a work ethic and a Rolodex of business to be able to get through that luck. Meaning, he did happen to know Tom Segura, who knew Joe Rogan. But if he wouldn't have done the 10 years of work before on the comedy side,
right?
Then
he could have easily been introduced, and guess what? He has no body of material,
exactly,
or
no
any
body of
skill
work.
set.
Yep.
To live up to that expectation.
Exactly. So you make your own luck.
Right.
So I mean you do get stuff. You work hard and work ethic and all that has something to do more to do with it than your luck. You'll fall into things if you have the work ethic.
I think hard work and consistency is key, man. That's just what it is. You can know all the people in the world, and just because you get plugged and hooked up doesn't mean that it's gonna last that long. I mean, we see it all the time. You get privileged kids that dad knows the owner of a company. He gets a job over at this job as a supervisor, what have you, and okay, how long does he really last there?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's like, oh yeah, your dad got you here because your dad goes golfing with so and so. Like,
right.
Yeah, but that's a temporary thing.
And
though.
I will say this: me being a white man,
it happens.
Not as much as what y'all think.
Man,
I swear to God.
I beg to differ. I think it depends on the field of work.
What meaning?
That people get connected like that.
Give me an example.
I think powered positions.
Maybe government.
I think power
Maybe
positions.
politics.
Yeah, I don't know. I think power positions. If it's anything requiring with making some decent money, man, certain people, I think you gotta know the right play. You gotta know the right people too, man. Because I think about look at all the college kids that graduate with degrees and they can't find jobs, right? Mm-hmm. One of the biggest things people don't look at the fine print.
That's what I'm saying. You would think those kids were privileged.
Nah. I think you got to know somebody too. I think you still need to know somebody to a degree.
So I guess my point is, those white kids aren't privileged.
No, I don't think all of them. Well,
right.
I mean,
that's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah, I don't think.
I think
all
the
of
people. Them. I think it happens more than white people will admit, but it doesn't happen near as much as what black people think.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. I mean, so here's a quick story, right? So you know a little bit about me, Kenny. I used to work for the Milwaukee Brewers.
Right.
Okay. I worked in the locker room. I was a visiting locker room assistant manager, moved up to. The work that I was doing was any kid's dream. Mm-hmm. Nobody could get a job like that. That is not a job you could just put on go look on job Indeed and go, I'm looking to work in the locker room, right? Mm-hmm. This is real stuff, right? So my other coworkers that worked with me, I was like, how did you get the job? Oh, my dad knew the general manager for the Brewers. He goes golfing with him. Mm-hmm. This kid comes in because his dad golfs with Bob Uecker.
Yeah, I believe that.
So
I believe that.
I was blessed and fortunate, and I got in it because I volunteered at a shelter for homeless runaway teens, and he sat on the board there. He recommended me for a summer job. working for the Brewers. I didn't know what the job was, and I was a luck of the draw how I got in there. I would not had any.
But if you would have did your work, volunteering and doing all that other stuff, right?
That led me to get blessed.
Exactly.
Get what I'm saying? Yeah. And I wouldn't know how to get no job like
So that's sustainable. What that
Right.
kid getting a job.
We're the same age too. Now I'm 14 when I started there.
Yeah.
What 14-year-old?
But what I'm saying is, him with no work ethic behind it is not sustainable,
no,
right?
no.
So
And didn't take it.
You still got to do the
serious
work,
either. Yeah. And he didn't last that long. He only worked there that year.
right?
You know,
Still
he
got to do
did
the work.
1 year there. I wound up doing almost 9 years. You know, that's all I knew at that time. Like sports, baseball.
Right.
This is my career path.
That's got to be a cool ass job for a
Real cool,
for
man. The things that I've seen and experienced, it helped me. It broadened my horizon.
You got to travel.
I got to travel. Here I am, a little black boy coming out the hood in Milwaukee, and I'm hanging with millionaires. I'm on TV. I'm traveling. I'm seeing things. I'm getting to see more outside of my environment.
Right.
So it's going to enhance me. It's going to make me want more in life, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's what
elevates
anything.
you.
It elevates. I think
your expectations are raised.
it makes anybody, if we both sitting around, God knows whoever, if we both was having breakfast and eating lunch with Bill Gates every fucking day, right?
Yeah, your game escalates, elevates.
You're going to want to do better because that inspired you. And just to know that you had this table conversation with this person of that caliber, like, damn, like,
and
you know?
I always hated it when my parents used to say it, but you are who you hang out with, right?
Yeah, I hate that.
Yeah, but it's true.
Yeah.
You hang out with a bunch of thugs, you're going to be a thug.
Yeah.
You hang out with decent people, you're going to be a decent person.
Yeah.
And I used to hate that shit. We were going to talk about breaking down bars. So that's our new segment that we're going to start talking. It's it's how rap bars, rap music that white guys don't understand, right?
Right.
So in our production meeting yesterday, we started talking about this. I don't have any examples right now, but you were talking about most of it is, we were talking about Jay-Z, for instance. You were saying most of it is in code.
Oh, yeah. Shout out to Hove, man.
Yeah.
That's my man's right there.
So code meaning only black people know it?
No, I would say street code. If you a D-boy or you a hustler in general, I think everybody
right.
speaks in code. I think
you're gonna
corporate
have to define D-boy.
D-boy is dope boy.
Okay.
I think corporate has codes, right? Think about if you work in corporate America, they have code talk.
Financial industry, especially.
Exactly. Here I am. If I'm just a guy, I'm the labor guy, and I go talk to the executive director, they're going to say things that I have no understanding. It's corporate code talk. So I think in anything, there's levels of ways other people communicate. It's not for everyone to know. And the people that can take grasp of that, it just puts you in a better position. So, yeah.
So with him talking in D-boy code, that's a way for just the other D-boys to know what he's talking about?
I think they can relate to it, but guess what?
Because you know how many 14-year-old white boys are listening to it.
And guess what? They love that. They love that shit. It intrigues them, right?
Oh, yeah, because you don't know what it means.
You don't know, you want to know more about.
Right.
So, yeah, it still works out.
Do you think anybody, like rappers just crack up?
They do.
When they see, like, 16-year-old white kids
saying they verses and whatnot.
Right.
I think they do, but then I think it also let them, I think as a rapper, it probably makes you be like, wow, I didn't really know my music was that powerful to this kid, right? I think, and that's why you have these rappers go into places and have talks and let them know, like, hey, you know, this is entertainment, blah, blah, blah. This is what I've been through in life. But what you don't know is it's always interesting to the opposite party, period. You know, and once it's broken down, it's still all relatable because I may be going through the same thing. You just speaking in a different term. Like, damn, I'm going through that too. And I think that's the powerful part about music. Music just brings people together and whole.
These mumble rappers, do they write their own shit?
They do too. They actually, I mean, there's rappers that say shit that you don't know because you're just listening to the beat, like up tempo rappers, right?
Like my boy Tekashi.
Oh God, We're gonna start with that. Okay.
He's got some bangers.
Yeah, he has beat bangers. I don't think anything he's saying lyrically is food of thought. But I don't know. To each his own. Like that's why I never knock music because music is constantly evolving and changing.
It's an art,
and it's an art,
Most.
and it brings people together, right? In the whole, no matter what our differences is. Hell, you put in an album with somebody and we both know the damn song. We got something in common right
Something's
there. Like,
happening.
oh shit, that's my cut. You listen to that too? So I think music just brings people together in a whole, man. But yeah, there's a lot of things that artists say that I don't even think a lot of the generation really understands it. They're just
a lot of the this
younger
generation.
yeah. And then if you really break down bar for bar, because I'm a lyrical guy, like I listen to lyrics and I listen to the message of what they're saying.
Do they just talk crazy sometimes? I mean, are they
Hell
just
yeah.
trying to find a rhyme?
Shit, I think all musicians do that, man. That's not even just rap.
I mean, you take like Nas and Jay-Z and stuff like that.
Right,
they
right.
rap and there's 90% of the time it's got a meaning to it, right?
Right.
Do you think they just like 1 out of every 10? They're like, fuck it, let's just put out a banger and just
talk shit.
Just talk shit.
Oh yeah, man.
And just see what happens.
Oh yeah, you know who's that definitely tours too? One hit wonders.
True.
That's why. That's when you really find out if you're really an artist or you're just doing it for the money.
But
right?
but like take a Kanye, all right.
Okay.
Just take Kanye for instance, and just say he spent all this time. He just wants to put out just something to the public, and he just wants it to be a #1 hit. He don't give a shit about a message. Does he ever do that? Just
I think Kanye is very he's a conscious guy in whole.
He's a marketer too.
Yeah, but he goes, you got to look at Kanye's background. He's coming from a educated mother,
Right.
college mother. His dad was a hustler, and so he's has history in music and fashion and all that. He's gonna have a content of work that's just gonna be about shooting the shit. Because sometimes you got to kind of dummy down your music for the mass of people to understand what the hell you're saying. That's just reality. Everybody's not gonna be.
Everybody's not going to get into it if they can't understand.
You can't
it
be
fully.
Can't be political and all that shit all the time. Some people don't want to hear that. Sometimes you just got to dummy down your music to reach people on the whole, right?
Right.
And that's where mixtapes come in at. Now mixtapes you can really spit how you really spit and all that shit. And
Yeah.
now people are like, oh man, I thought this dude was a dummy, man. I thought no, this guy.
Explain a
really does.
mixtape.
Mixtapes are just body of work that you put out at your will. Lil Wayne was one of the guys that kind of, I'm not gonna say started it, but opened it up more to where you as the listener can get a better understanding of who this rapper is, right? Outside of what you hearing on the radio.
It's not for public consumption.
It's not,
basically.
right? Because you got to have a radio song.
Yeah,
right,
you have
just
to
get
you
the
have
ear
to
of
dummy
people.
it up. Yeah,
But
you have
now you really want to know if this guy really raps and he puts out a mix CD, which is just him being him now, right? Because this is not corporate. This is what you're doing on your free will. Now they really get to see, holy shit, I didn't know this dude can spit like this. Or
Yeah.
I didn't know he thought this way because he's not being marketed.
right.
By
You're not worried about the record
right,
company.
you're not worried
or-
about the record company. This is just you being you, all 100% authentic. So, I mean, that's the beauty with mixtapes. If you really want to know how an artist is, they got mixtapes out. Listen, man, listen to them mixtapes.
Okay.
It may give you a different perspective of a lot of things that you're hearing on the radio.
All right. Well, you heard it. Listen to the mixtapes. So we're gonna cut that episode 6, man. That was good stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Hit the subscribe button. You can follow me on Instagram at Kenny Martin Live. We also have our website up, graytokens.com. And you can see D at
You can find me on dbolton 2018 Instagram or dbolton TV YouTube. And the podcast, also Gray Tokens. Subscribe to that. Push that button, like it. You heard?
Thanks, guys.